Greetings, greetings, greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another night shift. It's a Tuesday night edition with something we call Healthy Love. How you doing, how you doing, how you doing? Kicking it off today, this evening, with a zone of curls. It's called Drip. Inviting you to call a friend, tell a friend, call enemy, friends of enemies, enemies of your friends. It's all about healthy love on the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele. I want to say thank you to the affiliates. Big ups to you over there in the UK. Top of the morning to you on Harmony Radio. Big ups to those on WGLRO out of Texas, the home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show on the People Station. Much love to Hollywood Media Group, Deucic Media. Big ups to those on NIE Radio in New Jersey. Island Worldwide in New York, exhibiting the power of music. Big ups to those on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Much love to you. And those locked in on TuneIn Radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't even try. Girls, listen, you're making me dripping on. I like it. I want to say thanks to my segment sponsor, Pulse Media Group, providing innovative streaming and recording solutions. When being in the moment is priceless, get them a link, 754-999-6020. Tell them DJ Kevin Steele sent you. Hey Shireen, how you doing? The track is called Drip, and she likes it. Curls. So ladies, tonight it's all about you. Or is it really about us gents? Last week it was about the gents for the ladies. I guess tonight is for the ladies. Or for the gents about the ladies. Tonight we are addressing vaginal health. And there are some people that the mere thought of vaginal health makes them cringe. And I'm not too sure why. because it's a place that we all came from. Now, if we knew what was going on when we were coming from that place, well, not all. Some people had C sections, right? So I'm a C section baby, but I know from whence many of us came, and I'm well aware of how many of us try to go back there regularly. So vaginal health. When you think about that, what comes to mind? 773-789 Stu is a number to call. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. If you can't get through to me with any of those methods, you can try Skype. Kevin.stew is a Skype handle. If it means sending me an email, so be it. djkevinstew@gmail.com is how you get in touch. But feel free to interact, share with somebody, call somebody, tell somebody. It's healthy love, and we're very mature about it. Vaginal health is an important part of a woman's overall health. Vaginal problems can affect fertility, desire for sex, and the ability to reach an orgasm. Now, that alone is a problem for some people. And notice I wasn't gender specific there. Both men and women, because some women don't know what it is like to get there, and some men don't know what it is like to get a woman there. And for some, they don't know how to help each other. Anyway, ongoing vaginal health issues can also cause stress or relationship problems and impact your self-confidence. Sounds familiar? Those who were listening last week, these are some of the same problems that men have. Know the signs, know the symptoms, and what you can do to protect your vaginal health. Because we all stand to benefit, right? So, what then affects vaginal health? According to mayoclinic.org, the vagina is a closed muscular canal that extends from the vulva, the outside of the female genital area, to the neck of the uterus or the cervix. Various factors can affect the health of your vagina, and these include sex. Yes, sex. Unprotected sex can result in a sexually transmitted infection. Forceful sex can cause an injury to the pelvic area and can result in vaginal trauma. Again, does it sound familiar? Right, you were paying attention last week. Those of you who weren't paying attention last week, you can go ahead and check out the video archive. You can visit YouTube and look up the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. You can check out the podcast, The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. You can just go on whichever platform, whichever search engine you use, and type The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. You'll get some results. Alright, so continuing with what affects vaginal health. Certain health conditions or treatments. Conditions such as endometriosis and pelvic inflammatory disease might cause painful sex. Scarring from pelvic surgery and certain cancer treatments can also cause painful sex. Use of some antibiotics increases the risk of vaginal yeast infection. With talking to some women, and majority of the friends I have are women, with talking to some of them, the yeast infection thing can happen with even a change of soap or not dishwashing liquid, I'm sorry, laundry detergent. Hey Jace, how you doing? Charm, how you doing? It's been a minute. Birth control and feminine hygiene products also can play a role. Barrier contraceptives such as condoms, diaphragms, and associated spermicide can cause vaginal irritation. The use of sprays, deodorants, and douches may cause irritation or make existing irritation worse. Now, why? Okay, some of you ladies, would need your help in this area. Which spray are you using? Why are you using it? And I'd love to know. I'd really love to know. Not to make fun of anybody, not trying to make any jokes or anything like that. I'd really like to know. Why are you using it and what are you using? Then, of course, there's pregnancy and childbirth. If you become pregnant, you'll stop menstruating until after your baby is born. During pregnancy, well, most times anyway, during pregnancy, vaginal discharge often increases, and vaginal tears are relatively common during childbirth. Well, tears on a whole are common during childbirth. In some cases, an episiotomy, which is an incision made in the tissue of the vaginal opening during childbirth, is needed. Vaginal delivery can also decrease muscle tone in the vagina. It doesn't need spray, Jace. JC, listen. This is what the information is saying. The information is saying that the use of sprays and douches. So now most of us are familiar with the word douche and what it's used for. I get that, JC. I do understand that it cleans itself. But if the product is being made, it is being made for a reason. So if it is being made for a reason, then some people are using it for that reason. The question is, what is the reason that they're using it, and are they using it for what it is made for? 773-789-STEW is the number to use to get in touch. 773-789-7839. I'll say it one more time. 773-789-7839. All right? It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So there are also psychological issues. Anxiety and depression can contribute to low level of arousal and resulting discomfort or pain during sex. And trauma such as sexual abuse or initial painful sexual experiences also can lead to pain associated with sex. And although some people tend to believe that if there isn't a degree of pain in sex, then something is not working right. So Jamaicans have a way of saying not flinging it properly. So if the case is that he is not delivering the way you like it, ladies, does that mean that you know this because you're not feeling a degree of pain? Hey, Judes, how are you doing? And is that a requirement in the act? Now, there are also hormone levels. Changes in your hormone levels can affect your vagina. For example, estrogen production declines after menopause. And during breastfeeding, a loss of estrogen can cause the vaginal lining to thin, which is referred to vaginal atrophy. This makes sex painful. So, no pain, no gain. All right. Okay, hold on. So, if we're having sex and you're not feeling pain and I pinch you, does that work? What is the purpose of the pain during sex? Or maybe I need to address that in a real talk. Maybe I need to address what is required to have a successful sexual experience Maybe I need to address that in real talk. I guess that is how I'd have to set it up. Because if you're gonna be saying no pain, no gain, then is it that you require that degree of pain? There's a thin line between pleasure and pain, so you require that threshold to be pushed. I don't know. That may make for a good real talk topic. Now, what are some of the most common vaginal problems? Well, those would include sexual problems. That tops the list. Persistent or recurrent pain just before, during, or after sex. Pain during penetration might be caused by involuntary spasms of the muscles of the vaginal wall. The muscles in the pelvic floor can become tense, causing chronic pain and pain during intercourse. Vaginal dryness, often occurring after menopause, can also cause pain during intercourse. Now, for some women, vaginal dryness happens before menopause. And of course, now you need help. You need to go see a doctor and take care of that. And then you have some women that blame that on their partners. Poor us, right? You have sexually transmitted infections. Now, various sexually transmitted infections can affect the vagina, including chlamydia, gonorrhea, genital warts, syphilis, and genital herpes. Signs might include abdominal vaginal discharge or genital sores. Then you have an infection or change in the normal balance of vaginal yeast and bacteria can cause inflammation of the vagina. That's called vaginitis. Symptoms include vaginal discharge, odor, itching, and pain. Common types of vaginitis include bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, and trichomoniasis. And that is one of those words that can actually play trichomones on your tongue. Hey Rush, how you doing? Glad you could stop. I thought about you last week, Rush, and I meant to send you a message. How you doing? It's good to see you. Pelvic floor relaxation. If the supporting ligaments and connective tissues that hold the uterus and the vaginal walls in place become weak, for whatever reason, prolonged use and excessive use, I don't know, that's not in the information, but I'm just saying, if for any reason the walls become weak, the uterus, bladder, rectum, and the vaginal walls might slip down. Prolapse is what it is called. And this might cause urine leakage during coughing and sneezing, or a bulge in the vagina. And I'm guessing this is not the kind that is quite attractive either. So if it happens in coughing, if the leakage happens during coughing and sneezing, I guess it happens in laughing also. Hey Celia, welcome. By the way, Celia, that CMOS gel, that soursop sweet CMOS gel tastes amazing. All right, just letting you know, it tastes amazing. Vaginal cysts, going back to the information, I digress. Vaginal cysts can cause pain during sex or make it difficult to insert a tampon. And you have vaginal cancer, which might first appear as vaginal bleeding after menopause or sex. Also, that is also a rare possibility. So, what are some of the signs or symptoms of vaginal problems? 1 second. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rush. Thank you for the support. Some of the signs and symptoms of vaginal problems. And you definitely want to consult your doctor if you you're experiencing any of these. If there's a change in the color, odor, or amount of vaginal discharge, if there is vaginal redness or itching, if there is bleeding between periods after sex or after menopause, that could be a problem. Mass or bulge in your vagina, or pain during intercourse. And I guess the pain during intercourse one can be a little bit tricky, since it is said no pain, no gain. You know, your partner has the right equipment if you're feeling just about enough pain. I don't know. But it wasn't what I said. Just so that you know, I didn't say it. You might not need to see your doctor every time you have vaginal irritation and discharge, particularly if you've been diagnosed with a vaginal yeast infection in the past and you're experiencing similar signs and symptoms, and you know exactly what it is. So be mindful of that. However, if you choose to use an over-the-counter medication and your symptoms don't go away, definitely call your doctor. And last night, those of you who were tuned in, or anybody that caught the broadcast on the podcast, or you checked it out on YouTube, you would have heard from Dr. Alicia Bryan. And, she was addressing some of the things relating to a virtual expo that is coming up this weekend. And I'll be sure to post that flyer on my social media pages for you. And they'll be addressing some of these things in that. So if you have some questions, you can connect with her. Also, you can check out that broadcast and connect with Dr. Alicia Bryan. All right, so what then are some of the things at first glance that can be done to maintain vaginal health, to good health? Be sexually responsible. That's the first on the list. Use condoms or maintain a mutually monogamous relationship with a partner who's free of sexually transmitted infections. Now, if you use sex toys, clean them after every use. Hey, Marva, how you doing? Here's another nurse for you. You could ask some questions. Marva Riley is tuning in on the Facebook Live. Definitely you could ask her some questions also. Critical care nurse for over 20 years. Hey, Hal. Reggae man, big up yourself, brethren. So, be sexually responsible. Now, one of the things that you've heard me talk about on this broadcast includes other types of relationships, not just the monogamous one. So, in being inclusive, know who your partners are. Get tested. Be responsible. If you have multiple partners, then you need to be having conversations regularly. So you need to be as open and honest in your relationships as you can. Go get tested. Go together. It could be a family building experience. You'd I guess in the workplace you do things like that, and it's a team building experience. Not that you go to the doctor together in the workplace, but you know what I mean. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Now, steps to take to protect your vaginal health. Be sexually responsible. Get vaccinated. Now, those of you who listen to me on a regular, I have some mixed feelings when it comes to vaccinations. Vaccinations can protect you from HPV, the virus associated with cervical cancer, as well as hepatitis B, a serious liver infection that can spread through sexual contact. Now, when it comes to vaccinations, I don't recommend that everybody just run and go take whatever vaccination is available. But then again, I'm a DJ, not a DR. So look up the information on which you're going to be vaccinated for. Research. Do your research. Ask the questions. Do not go to any physician and think that you can't ask a question because they have a PhD or their name is Dr. something. No. Medicine is a practice, which means they haven't gotten it right yet, which is why they keep practicing. So, ask questions, do your research, and get a second and third and fourth opinion if needs be. But don't just stick with one. Excellent connections being made here. Yeah, JC. Link with Marvel. Do Kegel exercises. I remember the first time I heard about Kegels, I was like, what? And then it was explained to me what it is, and I was like, what? Yeah, Kegel exercises can help tone your pelvic floor muscles. If you have prolapse, leaking of urine, or weakness of the pelvic floor, these come in handy. What else comes in handy would be yoni eggs. I learned of yoni eggs a few years ago. And initially I thought, okay, so this is a little freaky deaky thing. Only to learn that yoni eggs serve purpose. And Kegel exercises and yoni eggs pretty much go hand in hand. So if you have not yet asked the question of yoni eggs, you can also contact Dr. Janice Stone, who had started an organization called Woman's Nest, WOMBMANS, Woman's Nest. And you can search for her online. You can find her in my friends list, Dr. Jenny Stone. You can find the group or the page for Woman's Nest on social media. So you can check that out. Ask questions about yoni eggs. Know your medications. Now, I would say that goes without saying. However, we tend to stumble when it comes to things that doctors tell us. Discuss your medication use and possible vaginal side effects with your doctor. How many of you get medication? Ladies, how many of you get medication from your doctor? And as you're talking about possible side effects, you ask the question, does this affect my vagina in any way? How many of you think to even ask that question? Because prior to going through this bit of information, it didn't really occur to me. Now, I wouldn't necessarily be asking that question, but I have family members that are females. So it only stands to reason that if I love my family members, we're going to be having these serious, uncomfortable discussions. See, you never thought of it either, JC, and I understand. Ask the question. Because we never really know some of the side effects that these medications have, and the doctors might give the common ones, but what are the uncommon ones? Could that happen to me? I think that's a question that needs to be asked. And limit the amount of alcohol you drink and do not smoke. Chronic alcohol abuse can impair sexual function. I just had a visual. And I guess that impaired sexual function can happen to anyone, both male and female, and could lead to some uncomfortable, painful results. Nicotine might inhibit sexual arousal. Substance abuse might also cause poor physical and mental health, which can affect sexual function also. Although some of those substances people would want to use to enhance that sexual experience, but again, it may impair that sexual function, and again, that might be something that needs to be included in a real talk show. So, while not all vaginal problems can be prevented, regular checkups can help ensure that problems affecting your vagina are diagnosed as soon as possible. Don't let embarrassment prevent you from talking to your doctor about any concerns you might have about your vaginal health. Ladies, really and truly, do you not only talk to your doctor, but we have to start with self, right? So, do you ask yourself some of the questions as it relates to your vaginal health? And then, do you talk to your doctors about it? See, Marva is saying antibiotics can affect the vaginal pH and lead to vaginitis. So, here it is, you're taking something that is good for you for a period T. Because antibiotics is kind of questionable sometimes too. That is why you're only told to take antibiotics for a limited period of time. So here you are taking these antibiotics because you have whatever infection, and you didn't take into consideration how it can affect your vaginal pH, and now you have a yeast infection. And you end up cursing out your doctor because they gave you this thing, or better yet, no, let's leave the doctor out of this. You end up cursing out your partner, and your partner had nothing to do with you getting this yeast infection. It's the antibiotics that you're taking, but because you weren't aware, your poor partner is now sleeping in the doghouse because you have this yeast infection that has nothing to do with them. So, be mindful of these things. I want to take this moment to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Policy Media Group, for the first segment. And for this segment, Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties, and she comes to you. She brings her table, her oils, and she comes COVID-free. She'd like to leave that way also. So please bear that in mind. She only has one request outside of you paying her, that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she is done. I know she has this request of me because I always fall asleep on her massage table. This is true story. So go ahead and give her a call, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. Or email her at thealater@att.net. Now, if that number sounds familiar, it is because it's a number that is also associated with Chioli. Changing Your Lifestyle, Changing Your Life, which is Althea's new business as a personal trainer. So you can call her for massage therapy, or you can call her for personal training. See how that works? Perfect, right? So she works you out, puts your muscles in pain, and then she massages them. So it's a one-stop shop. Give her a call. Hey, listen, it might lead to some good vaginal health too. Getting that exercise in. All right, so let's say we manage to be maintaining our vaginal health, keeping it in good state, yeah? And we decide, all right, that is good, everything is good, he is good, I am good, let's build a family. Douching is not necessarily a healthy practice. We're going to touch on that a little bit later, Marvel. But thank you for bringing that up. I remember growing up in Jamaica, there was a commercial. And I don't even remember at what point in time in my life this commercial aired. But you need what in your life, JC? The massage therapy or the personal training? 954-655-9000. 954-655-9000. Send her a text, call her. Even send her a text. No, if she doesn't respond, she'll get back to you tomorrow. Tell her I sent you. So, the commercial was two women, a younger one, older one, mother, daughter, and the daughter says to the mom, "Mom, can I ask you a personal question? Do you douche?" And that became a thing. True story. Those of you who hail from Jamaica might remember that commercial. And for years, I thought, I guess this is a good thing that women should do. Not quite sure what douching is, but I guess it had something to do with the vagina. And I thought, any woman that I have, I'd expect them to be douching because, you know, I want things to be nice and fresh. If that's what it does, then I'm good to go. But I learned later on that it is not necessarily a good thing. So, Marva, if you want to elaborate on that a little bit, you know my number, you can call, and it won't sound like, here's this guy, what is he talking about? He doesn't know anything. They might want to hear it from you, a woman and a nurse. So, any doctors that are tuning in right now, if you don't have my number already to use the number that you have. If you don't have, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. Don't be shy. We'd love to hear from you. So here it is now. We're pretty much in good stead and we're thinking of getting pregnant. So let me touch on this for a moment. This pregnancy bit. And I told you that I wanted to show you this flyer for this event coming up this weekend, right? So let me go ahead and pull that up over here and make sure I have it ready for you. Now, most pregnancies occur without complications, right? But some women who are pregnant will experience some levels of complications that can involve their health and their baby's health, or even both. And sometimes diseases or conditions the mother had before she became pregnant can lead to complications during pregnancy. Some complications occur during delivery, and it's a real thing. Even with complications, early detection and prenatal care can reduce any further risk to you and your baby. And we have some of the common complications of pregnancy. But before we get into that, let's hear from one of our resident nurses. Marva, thank you for giving us a call. Welcome to the night shift once again.
Hi, Kevin. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. This is way
I'll
past
take
my
it.
bedtime.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes. Any opportunity to talk about health is I will jump on it.
And I'm glad you will.
Yes.
So, what are you gonna share with us a little bit about douching, or just generally speaking with vaginal health?
Generally speaking, with
Okay.
vaginal health, I'm very open with regards to sharing my story because I always feel that when folks can hear it from the horse's mouth, as it were, then it's more believable.
Mm-hmm.
And so my book is all about sharing my story of ill health and now experiencing total health.
Right.
And I wanted to say that during the time when I was very, very sick, I did not have healthy vagina. I did not have good vaginal health.
Right.
I was constantly plagued with vaginosis and vaginitis and all kind of inflammatory and infectious issue going on down there. And
Mm-hmm.
all the doctors do really is to prescribe all these inserts, creams and pills and all kinds of things for you to insert there. And that's antibiotic that kills a natural bacteria in the vagina. And
Right.
then you end up having another kind of infection growing there.
Mm.
And so it was like it's like a constant issue there. And then you get the itching and all kinds of things because the antibiotic also dries you out.
Mm-hmm.
But once I changed my lifestyle and I started eating a diet that was more alkaline, mainly plant-based eating, less meat, less dairy, less cheese and milk and things like that, more plant-based eating, which is alkaline food, the vagina became healthier. And eventually that issue was a thing of the past. It's been a thing of the past for maybe 8 years now. So it is quite possible to have health, holistic health, which means health throughout, not just your heart being healthy or your lungs being healthy, your digestive tract being healthy, but your healthy woman's health also.
Mm.
And I remember one time I went to my gynecologist and she just didn't know what the heck to do. She told me to take probiotics,
Mm-hmm.
which I tried, which, bothered my stomach significantly. I could never take any probiotics, which is also why doctors say when you take antibiotic, you should take probiotics also. But
Mm.
you can actually be healthy there. Douching, I did douching as a young woman coming out of Jamaica because that's what I saw my mom doing.
Right.
But when I became a nurse, they taught us that it was unhealthy, that it affects the pH of the vagina, and I still kept doing it because it was a healthy down there. But the douching didn't help. It
Mm-hmm.
was like a band-aid.
Right.
So I remember I have two granddaughters, and when my daughter took her daughter to see the pediatrician said to her, because when the little girls, the first few months, they have this white thing around the vaginal area, and as women, we tend to want to scrub it and clean it off. And the
Mm.
pediatrician said to my daughter, "Leave that alone. The vagina is a natural cleaning machine.
Mm.
It cleans itself." But a lot of times, Kevin, we don't want any little smell down there. But vaginas and penis, they have a natural odor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not supposed to smell like perfume. Okay, that
Mm.
is very normal for the private area to have. Just wash it with a gentle, mild soap. I said mild soap.
Okay.
And never no spraying. My mom used to spray this thing called FDS, feminine deodorant spray. Those things will predispose us to infection also.
Mm.
And also many women use panty liners, and they use perfumed panty liners. They too will predispose you to vaginal infection. Once your vagina is healthy, you're not going to have a whole lot of stuff draining out to be using panty liner. And if you do use panty liner, you should be changing them regularly, because the stuff that drain on the panty liner will sit there in that heat
Mm-hmm.
and become and harbor the growth of
So,
bacteria.
all right, a couple of things here. What would be regular changing of panty liners, and is it okay to douche once in a while?
No, I would say don't douche at all. And any gynecologist will tell you, I'm not a doctor, but
Mm-hmm.
if a woman should ask her gynecologist, should I douche? That gynecologist is going to say, absolutely not.
Or should say, absolutely not.
I think I would dare go on a limb and say most gynecologists, if not all, will say to you, absolutely not.
Mm.
Because it's a product that the companies that make it promote, but it's not anything that a gynecologist would prescribe, or suggest. It's just not a healthy practice.
Right.
In terms of panty liner, I can't say for sure, but I would say it definitely should not be something that a woman is wearing all day. Maybe she should have a couple in her purse, and each time she goes to the bathroom, maybe slip on a new one. But it's not healthy to be wearing up the same panty liner all day, because the same drainage that the woman is trying to catch
Mm-hmm.
on that panty liner sits on that panty liner and harbors bacterial growth,
Right.
because the vaginal area is a very warm area,
Mm-hmm.
and bacteria like warmth.
Yes. It thrives in warm, moist places.
Hmm. Hmm. I would say to ladies and gents, if you start eating healthy, meaning you include more plant-based eating, less meat, less dairy, less cheese, less processed foods, and that kind of thing. Drink plenty of water. You will have a healthy vagina. And guys, you will have a healthy, penile health also, because men get issues there also.
Yes, I
Okay.
addressed that last week.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I didn't hear, but men have issues, women have issues. But if you take care of yourself, take your regular bath. Don't stay away from the soaps that are too perfumey and too harsh. Gentle, mild soap. In fact, even if we don't have to wash down there with soap, warm water washing with with your shower is good enough. But the vagina is supposed to have a little bit of a smell. It's natural, and so it is for the men. It's very normal. Our bodies are supposed to have a natural smell. We got so caught up into using deodorant that so many studies have linked deodorant and antiperspirant to breast cancer.
Yes.
So, but we don't want to smell anything. Everything must always be smelling sweet. And
Yeah, sweet
I
and
remember
perfumey.
exactly, and we weren't meant to be that. And I think that's one of the reasons why our grandparents and our great grandparents, they never had breast cancer. They never did. They never used deodorant. I mean, I rarely see my mom using deodorant. I tell you something. I got out of deodorant using. I probably use deodorant once a week if I'm going out and I want to smell a little sweet. But on a regular basis, I put coconut oil under my armpit,
Not baking
and
soda?
I used baking soda for a number of years, and yes,
Okay.
it does work amazing. But then when I discovered coconut oil, that's my go-to. I use coconut oil on my skin, and I get a lot of compliment about my skin. I use coconut oil on my skin, I use coconut oil on my face, and I use coconut oil under my armpit, and I have absolutely no underarm odor at all. Because I turned to baking soda and coconut oil because I became very allergic to perfumes and deodorants when I was very sick, and I
Yes.
never went back to it. Never. I could buy one thing of deodorant, and it will last me an entire year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I have no odor, no body odor. Period.
Yeah. That that right there is that's amazing to say the least. But not impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Not impossible. There was a question about steaming. What about doing that? How is that okay to do? You doing the heat the herbal steams.
I don't know. I don't do it, but I know there are many cultures that do it from Africa and Haiti, especially after women have given birth. It is commonly used to shrink the vagina. So, anything they practice in Africa, I am a firm believer that those folks know what they're doing. If we would go back to Africa, which is where Eden was, and practice what our foreparents practiced, we would not be experiencing, I don't believe we would be experiencing the many diseases that we're experiencing if we would eat the way our foreparents ate in Eden.
Yes.
I don't believe we would be experiencing cancers and perhaps not even COVID, really, because they use the herbs, the bush, the things from the ground, and
Right.
they use these herbs. They use these herbs and they do baths. They put mint and things like that in bathtubs with warm water, and they would take baths. And I know the women do the steaming with these very herbs, and I've heard that it's very effective to heal the vaginal area after the trauma of giving birth. But
Right.
I've never personally used it, but I know of people from Haiti and from Nigeria that use it. and swear by it.
Okay. So we're not writing off the steaming at all. But but
I can't speak to it because I've never done it
we're not
and I've
writing
never
it
done
off.
any
But
research.
definitely the douches can go one side. That can go somewhere else.
Douche needs to go because I'm telling you, it's the thing is that if your vagina is unhealthy, there's a reason why your vagina is unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to the cause. What and why is my vagina unhealthy? Is it for example, as you mentioned before, do I have multiple partners? Do my partners have unhealthy sex organs?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because if they have syphilis and gonorrhea and whatever else they might have, and you're
Right.
having unprotected intercourse, then you're not going to have a healthy penis or a healthy vagina. So you have to address that.
Right.
Okay. Another thing that women should consider, the underwear, the panties that you wear, are they cotton crotch?
Mm-hmm.
And if they need to be cotton crotch, okay. And also another risk factor are these thongs that a lot of women are wearing. Okay, if you think about the way the thongs are, there's this little string in the butt that heads up to the vagina.
Right.
And I used to hear that some doctors I used to work with call thongs butt floss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all that stuff, no matter how much you wipe the butt has some stool. Because how many people wipe the butt with a wet cloth after they poop? Very few. You wipe with a dry toilet paper. So
Yes.
there's always some stool there, and that stool is sloshing between the butt and the vagina, and so uh, 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 that kind of a panty
Mm-hmm.
will lead to vaginal unhealth.
Yes.
Also wiping the way women wipe,
The
right?
direction.
Your direction into wipe
Yes.
from front to back. And if you're using wet wipes, you should be using unscented wet wipes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these are just some cultures. When women go to the bathroom, they have a squeeze bottle of just plain water that they use to wash that
Yes.
area
And
every single time.
I was gonna say that because I know of women that actually have their little bottles. It's a
Mhm.
little bottle with a little nozzle on it, and they just squeeze when they go to they use a bathroom.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, that's kind of bougie of you, isn't it? But then I thought about it some more, and I was like, this makes sense. And
So
maybe,
long as it's not soapy, so long as Kevin, I'm sorry,
yeah,
so long as not it's not soap water or any cleanser, just plain water,
yeah,
because we can over clean too.
right.
Okay, good.
And this is what I'm saying. She told me she just uses plain water, and that's what.
Mhm.
And I was like, that is really bougie, and she's like, yeah, but I do feel a lot cleaner. I have been a lot healthier, and
Mhm.
this works for me. So maybe we can start a new trend, squeeze bottles, and hashtag squeeze bottle, and have people asking a question, what does that mean, in order to start a dialogue going,
Mhm.
because we really need to just stop taking whatever is put out in advertising as the thing to do. I don't see
And
anybody advertising that. I don't see anybody talking about that. We need to, and here it is. Someone in the on the comments saying exactly what I do, and someone told me it's nasty. I laughed because toilet paper don't really clean you. So
yeah,
there you go.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is too that the advertisers and the product companies, they're not going to tell you to question because what are they in business for? To make money.
Exactly
But
that.
we're not robots. We ought to question when they tell us that certain things are good for us to eat. We ought to question when they tell us certain things are good for us to do. And they try to tell us how to think and how to act. We need to question these things because we're not robots. That's why our children are sometimes so resistant because they have a mind of their own. And then we mold them to be little us. And then they're like robots.
Yes.
They don't question anything. But children, we were born to question things, and we need to question things. We were not intended to be sickly people. We're intended to enjoy health,
Right.
holistic health. We're not intended to be stressed out, can't sleep at night, to be depressed. We're not intended to be a gastric reflux and can't poop because we're so constipated. With bladder issues because we're not drinking enough water,
Yes.
vaginal issues because we're not taking care of ourselves. No, God intended for us to be healthy. And if we're not healthy, overall healthy, 100% healthy, okay, then we have to question what it is that we're not doing correctly. What could we do differently? And there's a lot of information. I mean, look how much you talk
Yeah.
about these issues. So if folks never went online and check and they listen to your show, for example, there's so much content for us to practice to make ourselves healthy. And while you're at it, grab a copy of my book,
There you go.
which doesn't specify vaginal health, but it specifies holistic health. Because if you take care of the heart, the bowel, the bladder, the lung, you will be taking care of your gynecological issues also, because our bodies, our health is holistic. You
Right.
can't treat a little piece and a little piece and a little. It's the whole being, the whole man.
I,
You
I
know,
just put up an image of your book, Eat, Sleep, Meditate. How can people get that book?
they can get my book on my website, rnmarvariley.com, and it's also on amazon.com. Now I'm also going to be doing a newsletter. I'm actually working on it now, a simple newsletter so I can send out to the folks who subscribe when they go to my website, rnmarvariley.com. My goal is to send reminders and tips and suggestions and encouragement and inspiration and even some recipes to my subscribers, because folks need to constantly be reminded about what they can do, the simple steps that they can take to attain their health and maintain their health, because it is quite possible. Not because we're getting older doesn't mean that we have to have one foot in the grave
Right.
and one out. So rnmarvariley.com, that's my website. And the book is also available on amazon.com.
And you also have a Facebook group.
I have a Facebook health and wellness support group. We
Thank you,
started,
JC. JC put it in
yes,
the chat just now.
yes, JC is a member of the group, and there's a lot of content on that group. And we've been growing. We think right now we're at 464 members, and we just started like 6 months ago.
So
Um,
464. It is the 6th of April. Can we get to 500 come by the end of this week? Let's get to 500. Let's get people in the Doctor in You by this weekend. Let's get that number to 500.
and
There's,
it's a fun group. It's
yeah.
interesting. It's fun. It's vibrant and interactive. So I know that they'll enjoy it.
JC, I'm gonna let you and Marva work that out. JC says there's a fee for that.
There's no fee. No fee. There's so much content for free. Everything nowadays is money, 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 money. No, free. JC free. She knows that. Just kidding.
But yeah, the doctor in you and Aaron Marva Riley .com. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Thank you, Marva. I know you said you're
Thank
just
you.
gonna pop in and give us 10 minutes. You gave us a loaded 10 minutes. And one of the things that I do intend to address before we get out of here is some food that contribute to good health, good vaginal health. But I
I
want to
think
go ahead.
mhm. I think if folks, I know that we are very much meat heavy eaters,
Hmm.
and not everybody is gonna be even 90% plant based.
Yes.
So I'm not being unrealistic. But if you could eat more vegetables
Hmm.
and more fruits and drink more water, you will find that your body will be a little bit more on the alkaline side.
Yes.
Okay, your body will be a little bit more on the alkaline side. And then when your body is a little bit more on the alkaline side, then it'll be in a healthy pH balance.
Hmm.
And
Viruses don't
about,
thrive in an alkaline state.
well, it is said that diseases cannot thrive
Hmm.
in a slightly alkaline body. Not too alkaline, no, slightly alkaline,
Right.
a little bit on the alkaline side.
Right.
Well, although, and this is another thing, the vagina is an acidic environment.
Hmm.
Okay. But when we go douching and putting things up there, it makes the vagina more alkaline, which makes it more conducive for the growth of bacteria and this health.
Mm.
Okay, so like our stomach, for example, is extremely acidic. It's
Right.
supposed to be acidic, you
Hmm.
know. So, but overall, our blood and our body, if it's too acidic, that's an unhealthy state, and we are more prone to disease condition. In fact, the sickest people in the hospital, if we should draw their blood gas, their blood is going to be acidic. They're sick. And
Hmm.
so one of the first line treatment for someone that is in cardiac arrest, that's a very sick patient
Yes.
that is in cardiac arrest. One of the first line treatment on that crash cart is sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, to
Hmm.
help to take that patient out of acidity to a more alkaline state.
Who would
Uh,
have thunk it? Something as
mm,
simple as that.
mhm, mhm. Sodium bicarbonate. I would push it right into that vein. Because that acidic blood is going to kill that patient.
Right.
That person is in a state of acidity. So, we got to take care of ourselves. But I would say if you include more vegetables, more fruits, and drink adequate amount of water, minimize the meat, minimize the cheese and the egg and the dairy and the processed foods,
Hmm. Hmm.
then that should take you to a healthy state overall.
And I'm gonna touch on
Over.
some of those, some of the recommended foods to help maintain good vaginal health in just a moment.
Okay,
Um,
Kevin.
Blissful says I use baking soda for acid reflux. I used to have it a lot, and well, I guess since start using it, you don't have it as much anymore.
Well, you can actually get rid of acid reflux. I used to have such severe acid reflux. They did an endoscopy on me about 8 times, and they kept telling me that I had H. pylori.
Hmm.
And the treatment of choice for H. pylori is antibiotic and more antibiotic plus the H2 blockers like Pepcid and Nexium and all of that, which
Right.
don't let me get into the side effects with that. Those things destroy your bone. It suck the calcium out of your bones.
Right.
And they, I mean, they were kept adding. At one time, I think I was on 4 H2 blockers,
Mm.
4 acid reflux, and they weren't helping. I had to prop myself up on a pillow to sleep. I would feel the stuff regurgitate in my throat. It's the worst feeling. You feel like you're gonna die. You have chest pain, back pain, shoulder pain with the reflux. But
Wow.
then again, once I changed my lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
and changed the way I ate and incorporated some stuff like, now I'm not telling anybody to do this, but I took baking soda, apple cider vinegar, and blackstrap molasses for
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, and 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And I was able to totally get rid of acid reflux. I have not had acid reflux in about 8 years.
Mm.
I have a YouTube channel, Marva Riley, where I have uploaded some videos with my experience and how I was able to rid myself of acid reflux and irritable bowel syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because all the doctors offered me were drugs, drugs, and more drugs. And I was able to heal myself of acid reflux. Acid reflux feel like heart attack
Mm.
when it attacks you.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. And but if you can heal that stomach and get that body into a state of homeostasis,
Mm-hmm.
then you will get rid of acid reflux. And I can eat anything. There was a time when I could not eat any citrus, no oranges, no grapefruit, no tangerines. I can eat anything. I can drink anything. Nothing bothers me anymore. No acid reflux, no digestive issues because I changed the way I eat. And all of that is in my book.
Eat, sleep, meditate. Get your
Yeah.
copy today. If you don't have a copy yet, get it now. Eat, sleep, meditate. Nurse Marva Riley, registered nurse of 20 plus years, specializing in critical care health, and having gone through having literally a near death experience because of health issues herself. This is the woman that is talking with us right now. Marva, thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thanks for allowing me, Kevin. Have a good night. And you're doing an excellent job bringing awareness and educating the public. And I'm so very grateful for you.
Thank you, Marv. I truly appreciate it. Just
Take
so that you know, coming up this Sunday is a virtual women's expo. Let me go ahead and put this up so that people can see it. I'm every woman. And if you visit islandhope.org, islandhope.org, these were my guests last night. You'll see information on this and how to register. It's free, and they're addressing some of the things relating to women's health, and that played right in with what I'm talking about tonight. And they look at maternal health, mental health, and a whole slew of areas addressing the woman.
Sunday
And
at what time?
Sunday from 12 to 3:30
That's good. That's
Eastern,
good. And it's free.
and it's
It's
free.
free. You all make use of
Yep.
this.
They have
Very
two
few
sign up
things are
options.
free.
Two sign up
Yeah.
options. There's a free sign up option and a free with a donation sign up option.
Okay.
So just visit um, island islandhope.org. islandhope.org.
One word.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Take care now.
All right. Have a great night.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Those of you who have not yet connected with Marva, go ahead. Those of you who are here on the Facebook Live, just click on her name and go ahead and friend request her, join the group, the Doctor in You, and you can share ideas, bones, stories, off one another, bounce ideas off one another, get some tips. You wish more women were here listening because you're so misinformed. Listen, I wish more men were here listening and participating in this, because we are also we are less informed than you are. And if you are saying as a woman that you're ill informed or misinformed, then where do we stand? A bunch of assumptions, and you know what it is to assume who ends up where. So let's really start having these conversations. The fathers of daughters, you know, this thing about this white powdery thing around the vagina with young girls, you know, I I'm glad you're there, bro. I'm glad you're there. Yeah, so you're sending me a message directly. I'm glad you're there. Much love. But you know, I didn't know anything about that. And these are things that are good to know, because as parents, as uncles, as siblings, as grandparents, when we're misinformed, it just causes a whole generational sequence of misinformation, and we end up being the worse off for it. So it you might think that it doesn't connect, but you look at your vaginal health and you look at pregnancy, and yeah, they are connected. And really quickly, I'm gonna run through a list of some of the complications from pregnancies, and then I'm gonna go back to looking at vaginal health directly and some food that can be helpful. I just want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global can act as your booking agents, take care of your tour management, your trademarks, your business registration, service, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion. You can give them a call, 954-998-8034. They do, I did say marketing and promotion, right? Yeah, they do that too. They're big on marketing and promotion. That's 954-998-8034. Or check them out online, reggaeglobalentertainment.com. So give them a link, tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. All right, so comment here. Thank you, Debbie. Truly appreciate it. I thoroughly enjoyed this session tonight. Thank you for being so informative. That's tremendous. Excellent job. So you're very welcome, JC. And thank you for participating and bringing some people along with you. So some quick complications as it relates to pregnancy: high blood pressure, gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, preterm labor, and a loss of pregnancy or miscarriage. Some of these conditions, some conditions that can cause complications include diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, infections, STIs, STDs, HIV being included in that, kidney problems, epilepsy, anemia, being pregnant over the age of 35. I don't know if that's still a thing, an issue, because these days it seems like people are getting pregnant and having children much later. Being pregnant at too young an age also can be an issue. Having an eating disorder like anorexia, smoking, specifically they said smoking cigarettes, using illegal drugs, drinking alcohol, having a history of pregnancy loss or preterm births, carrying multiples, twins, your triplets, your quadruplets, your quintuplets, any of these can also be risky or cause problems as it relates to pregnancies. Preeclampsia is one of the most recent things that I've come across, because I have a friend that when she had her first child, here came preeclampsia. I didn't even know. I almost lost a friend in pregnancy. And her first daughter was a preemie. She recently had another child, also a preemie, because the condition stayed. She had another bout of preeclampsia, but they were aware this time. Now, it doesn't always happen to be the case, but here it is. And she went through it twice, and she has two daughters, which is kind of scary because when their time comes around, you can only help but you can't help but wonder, will they be going through something like this? Um, sorry, JC. Oh, that's what happens. So, how do you manage to balance the health when it comes to the vagina? Um, it sounds like a pH, a chemistry class when you talk about balancing the pH levels in your vagina. But you know, it's something that needs to be done. A balanced vaginal pH needs to stay in the range of 3.8 to 4.5. The moment it strays out of balance for too long, bacteria has a chance to thrive and cause discomfort or UTIs. Now, this doesn't mean everyone should start home testing their pH every day. You know, don't get the pool kits and think that you're gonna get some results. Let's not go overboard with it. But if you have symptoms of possible bacterial vaginosis, home testing may help you to get diagnosed and treated more quickly. Your vagina, ladies, is pretty good at protecting itself and cleaning itself. So you need not worry. And this is one of the things that we've been talking about and mentioning quite a bit tonight. Proper vaginal care, such as good hygiene, safe sex, and regular gynecological visits, all play a role in keeping your pH in check. But the easiest way to promote health below your belts, ladies, believe it or not, is food. And Marva mentioned this just now. Those of you who are regular listeners to Healthy Love, from 10 years ago when it started with Dr. Janice J. Love Stone, she would say, good gut health leads to good health. And overall, you maintain gut health and your overall health is pretty much taken care of. So here are some foods that you would want to keep around in order to maintain good vaginal health. And they help with your vaginal walls too. So don't just think we're talking about the pH and the scent, but it helps with your vaginal walls. How great is that? That's awesome. So, first on the list is cranberries. Drink cranberry juice to treat UTIs, urinary tract infections. And the question is asked, well, they say this, but is there any real evidence to it? Fresh cranberries or 100% cranberry juice, not the stuff that gets sweetened. They're full of antioxidants and acidic compounds, which are powerful infection fighters. These can help protect from and help fight bacteria and keep them from adhering to the bladder wall. And studies show that cranberries can be especially beneficial in preventing UTIs in women with recurrent or recent UTI issues. Just make sure that you're staying away from the sugar-loaded cranberry juice, because that's a cranberry drink and not the juice. And that can actually make things worse. Having the sugary stuff, that can make things worse. Kegel's Blissful. Listen, like I said before, ever since I heard about Kegels, I was like a big fan of Kegel exercise. And then I heard about yoni eggs, and I was like, yo, this is the solution to many problems. Um, Eat more sweet potatoes. Believe it or not, these potatoes have some sweet benefits, particularly for women trying to get pregnant. So if you're looking to reproduce right about now, you want to increase your sweet potato intake. If sweet potatoes work with you, they're rich in beta carotene and vitamin A. Sweet potatoes help strengthen and protect uterine walls also. Beta carotene and vitamin A have been studied to have direct effects on fertility and reproduction in both men and women. So let's not leave out the brothers. And they help in healthy fetal development. So even the babies benefit. The nutrients found in sweet potatoes also help with production of sex hormones and are often recommended for women with polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS. Um, yeah, it's real potent. Hey, Steady, how you doing? Probiotics. You heard Marva mention probiotics just now. Probiotic rich foods such as fermented foods like kimchi and yogurt are good for more than just your gut. And again, your gut health contributes to your overall health. Good health starts in the gut. So they balance your pH level and they help ward off infections. They're probiotics. They live and the live and active cultures in these foods provide our bodies with a boost of good bacteria, which is particularly helpful in preventing yeast infections. And even better, calcium, which is greatly present in yogurt, has been shown to help with PMS symptoms. Then there is omega-3 fatty acids, which help with circulation and blood flow, which is good when you want to consider your sex drive, right? These essential fatty acids, as well as others found in sea buckthorn oil, like palmitoleic and linoleic and oleic and palmitic, were shown in a 2014 study to help with vaginal dryness in postmenopausal women. So I guess when you look at things like sea moss and sea moss gel, those would be up there in the list of things, your plant fats that contribute to better circulation and sex drive. So, Leah, if you're still listening, you might want to drop your link to get your sea moss gel. I just got a fresh supply of sea moss gel today. I have it. I get my sea moss gel from Solea. So link her and get yours. I got mine flavored with sauce up sauce up sea moss gel. The last one I had was papaya sea moss. So you get yours. She has tamarind, she has mango, I don't know what she has right now, but I got sauce up. Also the omega-3s, they can help with menstrual cramping. So fish oil can ease severe dysmenorrhea, and they're more effective than ibuprofen. You know how they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, it also helps to keep things more interesting in bed. There's a 2014 study that suggested that women who ate an apple once a day had better sex lives. One phytoestrogen, fluoridazine, which is found in apples, is thought to promote better sexual function, arousal, lubrication, and, get this, the ability to orgasm. The big O. So, ladies, grab your apples, have one a day, and see, where you end up. Try it out. What do you have to lose? Women who consume 2 or more servings of citrus fruit per day are less likely to develop uterine fibrosis. So that's a point that you want to add. You know, you need to get some apples. Go right ahead. I don't know what kind of apples. They didn't specify, so it's probably all apples. But as organic as you can get it, I would suggest that you go with it. We get the food. We get the good sweet potatoes in Canada, but have to go to specific shops. The ones in regular supermarkets are crap. Well, maybe you need to move out to Canada. I hear Canada is really nice though, so I need to come and visit you. You just returned your CMOS tonight because you can't take the taste. Well, I don't know where you're getting your CMOS from, Steady, but you might need to check Celia and get some CMOS from her. What's next? Soy. Now, when it comes to soy, that it can be a bit controversial. And tomorrow's grocery list: apples, citrus fruits, sweet potatoes. I love it. Good start. Start tomorrow. Yeah. Because, at this time of the night, supermarkets are closed. So, yeah, go ahead. Start tomorrow. Change it at. Soy. A little bit controversial, and it has always been. But the phytoestrogens, the compounds that mimic estrogen in the body, that are found in soy, actually good for vaginal health. Thank you for putting it in there, Celia. On Instagram, it's strictly. Don't get too decent with it. Strictly, STRICKLY, no T. Strictly roots, strictly _ roots 78. That's where you want to go for your CMOS gel. Link up with Celia and place your orders. Talk to her about it and some of the things that she's done, the benefits, that how it worked for her, and you can get some feedback from her on that. But going back to the soy, the phytoestrogens in the soy are good for vaginal health, especially in people with reduced estrogen levels. There are many different reasons for this decreased estrogen in the body, from medications to menopause. So and one of the symptoms, of course, is vaginal dryness. We want to get away from that. Now, minimally processed soy products are hydrophilic, which allows your muscles to retain more water. And they contain isoflavones, which are a plant-derived phytoestrogen. These have been studied to be beneficial for the skin in postmenopausal women. So those help. Then you have avocados. Now, everybody loves avocados. In Jamaica, we call them pear. Everybody loves avocados. And when you think toast and avocado, and you're like, oh. Okay, so believe it or not, avocados are also great for your sex life. Who knew? Some of us. Because it is also considered to be an aphrodisiac, right? Avocados are simply healthy fats. Vitamin B6 and potassium, all of which have positive effects on your libido. Now, this libido boosting fruit can enhance lubrication and estrogen levels, strengthen vaginal walls, and even increase IVF success due to its unsaturated fats. And funny enough, the avocado tree was actually loosely named the testicle tree by the Aztecs. If you remember, last week we were talking about this as we were dealing with penile health. So, avocados. And, of course, you want to get in your leafy greens, because leafy greens also help to decrease vaginal dryness. Now, dark leafy greens are blood purifying, and they enhance circulation due to their many nutrients. including dietary nitrates. And this can help prevent vaginal dryness and increase stimulation. Now, at what point is stimulation a bad thing? I don't know. But you're talking about less dryness, less vaginal dryness, and more stimulation. That sounds like a win-win. So these greens are also rich in vitamin E, magnesium, and calcium, all of which are beneficial to muscle health. Which muscles? What how was the vagina described when we started? A muscle. You remember that? Right. So why not consume foods which contribute to good muscle health? And with the vagina being the muscle of discussion, as we are the focus of our whole broadcast tonight, we want to make sure that we're optimizing the health of our vaginas. Yes, I say or. Because it's beneficial to both men and women. So yeah. All right. So listen. Here's another pointer that we want to add in here before we go to musical therapy. I do have a little bit more information before I go to musical therapy. As to what not to eat, because we're looking at things that we should eat. The general rule of thumb is to skip foods with added sugars and trans fats, as well as any processed foods. So before sex, you want to stay away from the foods that make your pee smell. If you're planning to have sex, especially oral sex, you might want to avoid eating asparagus, which is a common culprit for altering the scent of your pee. So avoid asparagus, especially if you plan to engage in sexual activities. But the foods that I mentioned before really, really, really do help. So incorporate your sweet potatoes, your leafy greens, your probiotic rich Greek yogurt, your avocados. Get that into your diet as soon as possible. Now, real quickly, to run through some ways to keep your vagina happy. And happy wife, happy life. Some things to keep in mind. Don't douche. And the summery fresh smell that is advertised in douching is actually harmful to the vagina. Ways to keep it clean, you may ask? Well, because vaginas are such amazing organs, not only do they help to bring life into the world, but they also do a great job of keeping themselves clean. And they do this by balancing healthy bacteria and pH levels on their own. So douching, not needed at all. Well, I'm glad he is blissful. I'm glad. Douching actually eliminates some of the healthy bacteria, which changes the pH and makes it more susceptible to infections. So stay away from douching. We heard from Marva earlier and she said that. But what about the smelling, the summery fresh smell that you want? Well, each person's genitals smell different. And there are ways to protect your personal and affect your personal scent, including changing up what you eat. Things like pineapples, and I wanted to mention this earlier, pineapples can make your vaginas taste or smell sweeter. Well, asparagus can have the opposite effect. So, I don't know, Blissful, you might want to add pineapples to your grocery list if it is not already there. If you still want to clean your vagina and vulva, however, make sure to use non-scented products and only wash the labia majora. Rebalance personal moisturizing and cleansing wipes by Good Clean Love are a great way to remove excess sweat or feel a little cleaner without affecting the natural pH of your vagina. They also have moisturizing wash that is great for those personal places. So you might want to check those out. Women should not do it, as in douching, and make sure that anything inserted, including fingers, be clean. I totally agree. Um, Now, next thing to do to keep in mind to maintain a happy maintain a happy vagina is the grooming. Now, it is okay to do a bit of trimming or removing hair along the swimsuit line. And no one says it needs to be unruly, but you should rock it however you want. It is recommended, however, that you do keep pubic hair. Pubic hair serves many purposes. It protects your downstairs from extra bacteria, and it also eliminates issues related to friction and sweating. Less hair removal also means less itch when the hair grows back, fewer cuts, scrapes, and fewer ingrown hairs. Now, if you must shave or landscape your pubic hair, try to use natural shaving gels and creams. And there are even vegan shaving creams. I didn't even know that. Vegan shaving creams. Lubrications also come into play. You thought pineapples would have been my number one food? Me personally, yes. Lubrication is amazing. It can take sex to the next level for someone involved. But there are some ingredients that are not good for your body. Glycerin, that for one, is related to sugar. And while it works great to keep lubes moist, it can also contribute to bacterial growth in the vagina. Petroleum products are also no-nos because they can ruin the vagina's natural pH level. Other things you want to avoid include parabens, scents, flavors, non-natural oils, and dyes. Now, I've heard of Uber Lube. Not that I'm tossing out ads here, but you can go ahead and check that out. You can check out some other products. Try to go as organic as possible. Try to go as vegan as possible. So if you can get some coconut oil up in there and use that as your lube, my suggestion is to go with that. Personally, I've tried coconut oil and it's amazing. It tastes good too. Coconut oil, I use it on my toast every morning. Use body safe sex toys. And this is for those that use toys. If you're wondering how the toys work, there are other people that are wondering the same thing. No, not all sex toys are safe for anything but taking up drawer space. But toys made from certain materials, generally speaking, are safe. Your and there are people that would ask, what are you doing with a wood sex toy? But wood, silicone, stainless steel, glass, ceramic, stone, and a type of plastic called ABS. Now, these need to be pure and medical or even food grade materials and not blends. Yes, and I did say wood as at the top of the list. How the wood part work out, I'm not too sure yet again because the splinters thing kind of scare me, but you can check it out yourself. Generally, you want to avoid purchasing sex toys online. It is hard to find out what these toys are made of, and hard to ensure that they weren't previously used. Which, yeah, I can see your faces being made up now and hear you all going collectively, ew. But yeah, but there are a lot of organizations to buy toys from. I cannot explain the wood. Don't ask me to explain the wood sex toy. I guess paddles that fall in the realm of wood toys. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Stop pressuring me. But one of the best and easiest things you can do for vaginal health is practice safer sex. You want to use protection. This could be a condom, dental dam, gloves. The it's not a lot of science involved. It's definitely not rocket science. Um, get tested regularly for STIs. Mind the order of your sex acts. Going from butt play to vaginal play can increase the likelihood that you'll get an infection, such as those painful UTIs. If anal is your thing, make sure you do it after vaginal sex and not before. And if anal play with the hands are your thing, then you might want to use one hand for anal and one hand for vaginal. Just keeping it real, just letting you know. So mind the order of your sex acts, and if you're going to go there, go to anal. Let anal be the last and not the first. Make sure you check your condom ingredients. There are a ton of brands made with spermicides. Now, spermicides aren't very healthy for the vagina, and they can kill good bacteria. So use other forms of birth control, if available, to make for a happier, healthier vagina. Not too thrilled with the wooden sex toys, are you? I understand. Peeing after sex can help reduce the likelihood of UTIs. So try to encourage that activity. And it helps you to get some discreet cleanup time. So you want to keep that in mind. Washing after peeing and pooping instead of using toilet paper, blissful. Yes, I get that. It's not on the list, but I agree with you. I do. You'll be okay, blissful. He won't mind too much getting an idea here or there. Wear breathable clothing. Breathable clothing and fabrics make happy vaginas. Cotton underwear is great. It has moisture wicking properties to limit the amount of wetness that can promote bacterial growth. Changing out wet clothing quickly can help limit issues as well, regardless of the kind of underwear that you like. Just make sure you change it daily. Does anybody need to be told that? I don't think so. It is always easy to find cute cotton underwear. So go ahead, do your searching, and get the ones you like. One of the best things to sleep in is actually nothing. Sleeping naked can be healthy for your vaginas. Regardless of what underwear you wear during the day, going without them overnight can help your vagina breathe. And your partners won't be upset with you for doing it either. The benefits don't stop there. Some research suggests that the cooler temperatures can be, the greater it is for your health. An easy way to cool down? Get naked. Plus, once you're in the nude, you might be surprised how incredibly liberating and empowering it can be. Can I tell you? Greatest experience ever being nude. Now, understand, good vagina health is not a one-step process. But there are lots of simple, easy things that can be done every day to make sure your vagina is well protected and happy. And again, happy wife, happy life. So Her vagina happy, she happy, you happy, everybody happy. Cause I'm happy. And everybody can clap along, right? Um, hey Tracy, how you doing? Definitely nude. I'm down for it. I'm all in when it comes to that liberating sleep. Now, if you can find a few liberating beaches to go to, then even better for those that like going to the beach. And some people might think, wait a minute, hold up. Oh, I keep my nudity to my bedroom. Listen, if if you're mature enough about what you're doing, the nude beach wouldn't necessarily be that bad. So, um, make it ear out. If you haven't done it yet, try it at least once. Try it. Um, okay, so yeah, we do need to connect, and I had to address for so if you missed the episode, missed the edition I did with the men last week, looking at penile health, you can check out the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew anywhere. You can check out the podcast, you can check out YouTube, and you can tune into that broadcast from last week. And the podcast is available just about everywhere: Apple, Google, iHeart, TuneIn, Anchor, you name it. If you ask Alexa to play the night shift with the DJ Kevin Stew, it will play it. She'll play it. So you can get the podcast from anywhere and everywhere. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you for the feedback. If you have any questions, let's talk about it. Let's talk about our health. Let's talk about our genital health, because that's important overall. Reminds you of grounding. Yeah, grounding is important. And we don't do it as often. Take your shoes off, go stand outside in the dirt, stand outside in the grass, reconnect with Mother Earth, reconnect with nature. Dr. Jenny Stone, she talks about this a lot on Woman's Nest. So, let's go ahead and reconnect, and let's go ahead and take our health into our hands, because nobody can tell you how to be your healthiest you. They can make suggestions, but they don't know what works for you. What works for them won't necessarily work for you. So you know what works for you. You know how you're feeling with certain things. So you need to be mindful of that and stay on top of it. Take notes if you have to. Start a health journal. Go ahead, talk to your partner, bring your partner, get your partner involved, because it's your collective health, or partners, as the case may be, however you roll. So be mindful, stay healthy. I have musical therapy. Oh. Let me say thank you to my final segment sponsor, and I ate up a whole bunch of his time without giving notes. GMAC Music Solutions, when being in bringing your events to life. GMAC Music Solutions, providing sound, light, stage production services, musical equipment, PA systems, audio engineers, DJs, bands, musicians, singers, and more. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Check them out online, gmacmusicsolutions.com. You can do your online shopping there also. Really cool. Get them a link, tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you, and everybody will be happy. Thank you to my segment sponsors. Thank you to you guys who have been tuning in. Yes, we do need to connect with ourselves, Blissful. Thank you for co-signing on that. Thank you, Steady. Truly appreciate of it. Miss you. You need to come at Bar Talk. Misses you. I met Steady on the set of Bar Talk with Luke Ballantyne in the Moment to Remember studio. Bar Talk happens every Sunday, and we had a good chat with Dr. Jenny Stone and Althea SU. Yeah, the same lady that is a massage therapist and personal trainer. They were the guests, and I had them both on Bar Talk. I hosted Bar Talk, special host, this past Sunday, and y'all can check that out on social media. Moments to remember that. Moments to remember is Luke's photo studio, Luke Ballantyne's photo studio. And it airs on Facebook Live on Jamaicans.com every Sunday at 5 p.m. So you can check that out too. But, that just about covers it for the talking part of tonight. So where do I go from here? We have musical therapy, and I have some commercials to close out. But thank you, each and everyone. Again, tomorrow, Real Talk Wednesday. And I guess I may need to address what constitutes a good sexual experience, I guess, considering where we've been going with this. Do remember also, coming up on Sunday, the virtual expo, I'm Every Woman. There we go. There it is on the screen. For those of you that are watching, you want to check that out Sunday, you can go to islandhope.org. islandhope.org. And you can register there. They have a lot of information as it relates to the expo. Check this out. It's a women's and maternal health virtual expo. The first of this group, the first one that this group is putting on. So you want to go and check that out. A number of speakers happening there, and I'll be providing music. So beautiful, wonderful, tutorful event even. I'm going to bounce out with some music, and I don't even know what I want to play as that music. But thank you. Here we go. This one, and it will set up things for tomorrow too. My brethren, Cesar. It's called Love Machine. Thank you again, and let's bounce out with this, yeah?
Whoa, Cesar. Yeah. So much but me alright. Come to loving me, have enough figure all night. Real type of love for make my woman satisfied. Feel like she touching the sky, she fly high like birds of a feather when together we lay. She says she like it better when I'm holding the reins. Well, tonight we're gonna do things different. Yeah, will you be my love machine? Will you make love to me? Girl, I want it.
And the best way to do that, maintain good health. Get the foods, get the exercise, take care of your vaginal and penile health. Everybody happy.
Girl, I give my love to you. So tonight, girl, I want to try something new. You want me, yeah. Well, tonight I hope you really want me enough to be my love machine. Will you make love to me? Girl, I wanna touch your buttons, yeah, let you show me something. So be my fantasy and give me what I need. Won't you be my love machine? Your booter and get you warm, girl, like a love computer. I want to put me password, log on and enter, and insert the tab where it really meant for. You get the information from off the hard disk, a stimulation, and then everything clicks. But can we do it like?
As we close out, I want to say, look out for members of your community. Your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, or the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stewart. This is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Remember, tomorrow I close out the night shift week with Real Talk Wednesday.
Real type of love for make me woman satisfied. Feel like she touching the sky. She feel
Hey, Blissful.
like
His name is Cesar. The track is called Love Machine.
so when I'm holding the reins, tonight we're gonna do things different. Yeah, will you be my love machine? Will you make love to me? Girl, I wanna touch your body. Yeah, let you show me something. Girl, be my fantasy and give me what I need. Won't you be my love machine? Yeah.
Let me give you one more. Bounce out with this one. New music from Glenn Washington. Called Bring Your Love On In.
When we feel it's too much pressure, just bring your love on in.
Oh, Kevin,
I know I've never been this way before. I can't believe I find myself wanting for more. And even though we are wretched from different worlds, I can't control this thing I feel. I want you for my girl. And I'm the one who always needs the best things out of life. I visualize myself with 2 kids and wife. Heaven must have sent you here. You mean the world to me. You've got the kind of love I need to set my spirit free. Cause when we feel it's too much pressure, just bring it up on in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When we feel
This is where I leave you. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a good night. Catch you tomorrow.
just do it, baby. Don't ever let the feelings of mistrust hold you down. Just let me get inside my love. We'll always be around.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Yes, my people, check out I Red Funks on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Stew, where I'll give you a pre-life, brand new, good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't see a dance hall, you hear that?
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
It's Christine